gamers, welcome back to the Daily Dose. My name is XONEVANT, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed the last couple of days of Daily Doses. I know I kind of got away from the news there for a little bit. I just wanted to kind of play and have fun. I threw some music in there. Hopefully you guys were just able to chill to some of the gameplay over the last couple of days. I will be putting in some more gameplay in future Daily Doses and mixing it up a bit more so that it's not just news every day or gameplay every day. But today I did want to talk about something in the news, and this was actually sent to me by a subscriber, Ep.353. A link to his channel will be in the description, and he basically sent me this article because you guys know I've been following the news for Battlefield 4 and all the potential lawsuits going down. And over the last couple of days, I've been doing a lot of recording and a lot of projects on my end for my job, so I've been kind of out of the loop. And so he sent me this article, so I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get into this article, and then we'll talk about everything going on here. So you guys know that with all the bugs and stuff going on with Battlefield 4, everybody's upset about it. Not just gamers, shareholders, all that stuff, man. Everybody, it seems like the world of gaming right now is revolving around what's going on with Battlefield 4. It just seems that way. There's so much garbage going on with this game on both sides, you know what I mean? And some recent documents have surfaced. According to this article, some legal documents show that executives have sold thousands of shares ahead of Battlefield 4's release. Now, if you're not familiar with how the stock market works, what happens is investors invest their money in order to get a return from their investment once the product is released. In this case, obviously a game is released, because once it sells, they're able to get back not only the money they invested, but a profit off of that money, because they basically funded the project. They put up all the upfront cost in order to make it happen. Now, this goes for people like me, the common man. It also goes for people who actually have stake in the company, right? Executives also can have share in their own company, and that's only for certain companies, right? And according to these articles, there's some high up executives in EA who actually had stock in the projected success of Battlefield 4 and basically helped funded that entire project. Now, I'm going to be linking you guys to two articles in the description below. The first one is from the article that HMF450R1 sent me, and the second link is going to be to the one that's on Gamespot. This one actually shows the shareholders that basically dumped their shares prior to the release of the game and exactly how much those shares were for, etc. And according to this document right here that I'm reading right now, it shows they sold 164,409 shares at various prices, but the total proceed amount comes to $4,804,556. That is a ton of cheddar. Now, again, if you're not familiar with how this thing works, typically right before a product's release, the share price or the stock price is extremely high, which means if you have stock in that company and you decide to sell, then you can get a ton of money. You see what I mean? Now, if you wait until the product is released and it's successful, it's a little bit of a gamble, but you can make even more money. You see what I mean? So the only reason why you would want to dump your shares or sell your stock prior to a game or a product's release is that you think that the product, or the game in this case, is gonna not sell as well as you would hoped it would. Now, the reason why EA is under investigation is because almost $5 million of shares were sold, and it wasn't from just the common man. It was from people who actually work in EA. They're actually invested in the success of this game, and the question becomes, why would they want to sell their shares if they feel like they have a good product coming out in a couple of days? Now, we know that after Battlefield was released, their stock prices dropped to I think around $21. What they're saying here is that it was up to $28 prior to the release of the game. And that's only the difference of about $6 or $7, but when you're selling 40,000 shares, that's an extra $6 to $7 times 40, and you can see how the math works on that. A difference between $6 or $7 over 40,000 shares is a large sum of money, and that's either money that you're going to gain or money that you're going to lose. Now, apparently this is only a claim at this point. It's been claimed that this is what's happened. In order for this to be an official legal class action lawsuit, basically a lead plaintiff needs to be assigned to the case, and they need to officially begin the case. And apparently, according to this, they must come forward by the motion deadline, which is about 60 days from now, on February the 15th, 2014. And it's saying here that at that point, a class action lawsuit may officially be filed, but obviously we don't know if that's going to necessarily happen yet. Now, EA has spoken up against this, and they've said that they feel like the claims basically are nonsense, and that if this thing goes to court, they're going to win and they're going to prove that, all this stuff is basically, and I quote them here, meritless. But I don't know, guys. I'm looking at this document, and if this document's true and everything's as is, $5 million of stock sold by just 7 people in your own company prior to a game coming out that you feel like is going to be the COD killer. See what I mean? That's pretty tough to swallow, you know what I mean? If I were a judge and I looked at that, I'd be like, they must have knew that this game was going to be coming out, very buggy. So I guess we're just going to have to wait until February the 15th in order to figure out how this thing is going to play out. But, like I said, this doesn't really affect us necessarily, because this is more of a stock type thing, a trading thing, inside information, securities fraud. That's kind of where that is. I mean, we're not going to get any compensation out of this as gamers. We're not going to get refunds or anything. But like I said earlier, if you want to return your copy to EA, return it. They will send you a sealed copy. And if you haven't, it's not been too long since you bought your game, or you still have your receipt, you can take it back to the retailer and get your full money back, which is what I did. Okay, now I haven't done it quite yet because my copy is still being sent through the mail. But once I get it, I have my receipt, and I'm going to get my $60 back. And I am not buying this game until I know that it works correctly. You see what I mean? Until I know that it's functioning correctly. And I encourage you to do the exact same thing. But anyway, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed today's show. Thanks again to HMF450R1 for providing me with the article and the topic for today's show. A link to his channel again is in the description below. I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys be good.